Coach K announces he's done after this year. So he's not even out on the recruiting trail this past year.
Wow.
It's Shire, it's Chris Carrawell, it's Nolan Smith. And Shire's going to get all the credit, and he deserves a lot of the credit. They have absolutely crushed it so far. They've got 3 top 10 players. Lively, the number 2 player in the class, behind Shaden Sharp. He is a terrific defender up. Long, 7 feet, block shots. He's kind of the new age big, right? Yeah. Great defensively, and he can also stretch the floor a little bit and score. He's not a great scorer yet. So you put him with this other kid, Kyle Filipowski, also like 7 feet, but like you're almost like a European big. Mm-hmm. You know, he can really step out and shoot the hell out of it. And they're both like, they're going to play off each other really well. Then they got a kid, Derek Whitehead, who's top 5-ish, 10-ish. Anyway, John Shire's killing it. Now, my big question to you is, how much do you think Coach K can help? And obviously the Duke brand is the Duke brand. But, you know, again, Shire's doing the brunt of the work here. But when you still have K as the closer and you've got that Duke brand, true, obviously it's going to go a long way right now.
Yeah, and I think that the way they've gone about it, where you have 3 Duke guys, I mean, they've all played there. They understand what it takes. I saw somebody tweeted the other day, will Shire get the heaven office or whatever?
I tweeted that. That was me.
Oh, yeah. All right.
He will not get the office.
I think it was somebody else. But yeah. I think it's certainly going to be a factor, and you know that'll be a part of it. But I'd have to say I'm really impressed with John. Yeah, I mean I've known him for a long time. I've known him since high school. With he was an Illinois Warriors guy, and I played against him in high school, college, professionally. So I've known him a long time, and when you see him take the job, you're like, man, there's just going to be so much pressure and so many things that are going on here where you're following a legend. How'd that work out for Mike Davis at Indiana? How's that worked out for a lot of other people who have had to be in that position? And for John to go out and do this, it helps that he's won a national championship as a player at Duke. He's been a part of the coaching staff and coached really good teams. And, he really knows the game. There's no doubt about that.
You know what helps too, Rob? You know what helps too? That he's how old are you?
He's 33. I'm 32.
Right. He's 33 years old. Like you're telling me that doesn't help right now when you're recruiting against, let's face it, like 50, 60.
And his assistants. Nolan's 32 and Carrawell is probably 36, 37.
Yeah, maybe a little older.
A little bit older. But yeah, you have a youth movement. And that, I look at that kind of the way that when Coach Painter was recruiting myself, Scott Martin, Etwan Moore, Juwan Johnson, you look at that and you're like, this guy knows what I'm going through. He's recruiting us in 2005. He played in 1993. That's not that far removed, especially when you're looking at a lot of other coaches that are 50, 55, 60 years old. It's just different. It is a different kind of outlook, and you got to give him a lot of credit, though, because they're beating out some big dogs for these guys.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, you kind of wondered, would the recruiting fall off a cliff? And so far, John has answered with a resounding no.
Yeah, I didn't think it'd fall off a cliff, but I didn't think they'd get 3 top 10 players out of the gates, and beating Kentucky for Derek Lively was absolutely huge. And I'm a huge Nolan Smith guy. Huge. Yeah. I mean, I've said this for a couple of years. Like, coaches call me a lot to ask, like, what do you think of this guy? Who do you think I should hire? I have thrown Nolan's name around for a couple of years now when he's been the ops guy for Duke, saying like he will be an elite recruiter. Everybody loves Nolan Smith.
Yep.
He works hard. He gets it.
Right. I'm pretty sure him and John are super good friends. Correct?
They are. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, the chemistry on that staff is outstanding. And you're right. They're young. They've got it rolling right now.
Now the big question is now will be Shire the coach next year, right? I mean, he's done it on the recruiting trail. It almost puts more pressure on him in a way because next year you're going to go in with 3 top 10 kids.
All right. Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Would you rather have the pressure of winning with the shittiest class ever? If they brought in the 100th class.
Yeah.
You want to have some players, right?
Yeah. And he'll have them it's funny. I mean, when you look at K's resume over the last like 10 years, they've only won one title over the last 10 years. So like for Shire's first 10 years, can he win one title? Like, can he win one title? And I say he can. I do. I think John Shire will win a national title, maybe even as soon as in his first 5 years, because again, now you've got momentum. Like you needed that in recruiting circles, and you have that. And listen, are they going to win a title in year one? Maybe not, but they're going to be Duke. They're going to be relevant. They're going to be in the top 25. So ultimately, I think it's going to give them enough momentum that they're going to be able to capitalize in the next class. They already have. I mean, he's already gotten a top player in 2023. So I just think this is going to be something where it's not going to fall off that much. It's really not, Rob. Duke's going to stay Duke, even with Coach K gone, which is crazy to say.
Yeah. I wonder what they're going to look like on the court. When John was there,
they're going to do this. They're going to do more of this.
I know that, and they've done that. But when John was there defensively, they were way different than they are now. Right. We've seen them go 2-3 zone. We've seen them kind of play almost like a kind of a pack line where they backed off you. They used to be full denial. If you're going to beat us, you're going to drive us because you've got guards that can handle us, basically punking you out of your offense. And when you're recruiting that level of kid, and certainly Coach Krzyzewski was getting really good players, but as they've backed off on that, the level of player has certainly gone up. Does John stay with the status quo? And if he's going to recruit like this, I think you probably have to. I also think it'll be fascinating to see what he runs offensively. Because I think right now Duke is about as, and I don't mean this in any type of disrespectful way, they are very vanilla. Right. They are very, very simple. They do not run complex stuff. It's
quick hitters.
And when you've got RJ Barrett and Zion Williamson, it works really good. When you have a team like last year, it cannot look so hot. So I'm curious to see what he's going to look like from an X and O's perspective.
Well, he'll have defensively, he'll have an eraser in year one because Derek Lively is that. He is an elite level shot blocker that is super long, plays hard, is only going to get better. And Filipowski is long as hell too. And Whitehead's just like a really, really good I don't want to say glue guy because that's almost diminishing what he is, but he's terrific. I haven't seen.
You're not even going to mention their 4-star recruit.
I haven't seen Jaden Shutt. I know he's from Illinois, so you're going to.
He's rated like 56.
Yeah, he's rated like 48. But I know from talking to these guys that they think that he's way better than that. That they feel like he's a McDonald's All-American caliber player also, and they're in the mix for 2 more kids. Mark Mitchell is like ranked 11. Their favorite to land him
right here, huh?
And they got 1 more kid, JJ Starling, who's top 40. So by the numbers, this could be an insane class for John Shire.